Great points.
No.
No, Eddie.
Big UFC this weekend,
You are
brother.
the ambassador of the Flat Earth Society.
No, he's not.
Eddie
barely. Listen, Eddie doesn't believe more than he believes.
Listen,
so if someone,
I'm not putting him down.
But if flat Earth became a universal truth, he would fucking start believing the Earth is round.
No, Flat Earth Society is the Flat Earth Society is controlled opposition. Nobody that's in Flat Earth.
Okay, listen, I know there's a lot of bullshit, so I really
Flat Earth Society is not real.
I respect you. I do. I love you. The point is that I'm asking you a real question here. Okay, it'd be the biggest documentary in history. It only costs like $1 million.
Okay, let's do
to
it.
get a 50,000-ton big ship and to have it circumnavigate the planet. Okay. And you will be there with GPS.
No. I'm not going to be there. Fuck no. We're going to get someone to represent me there. Okay?
All right, let's announce
no, we'll get
we're launching.
I'm not doing it.
No. We're launching the Discovery of Flat Earth project.
Well, that Rocket Man dude's already shooting himself into space. Isn't he like?
Yeah, but that's
you know what? It's really easy. You know, you prove the Earth that we really live on a ball.
How?
When they supposedly make those missions to the ISS, when they shoot up, just have one of the astronauts that's going to go to the ISS, just have a GoPro camera on his helmet and just go uncut, no cuts. No cuts from the time you get in on that ship to the time you dock, and I want you to document all the docking.
You denying we
There's
have
nothing
cell phones
like that.
And freaking technology.
No. Who said anything about cell phones? I got one.
Hey,
my cell phone is awesome.
Guys, let's not be.
What is that?
Eddie, let's not be combative here. But if that happened,
we're not being combative. This is how we talk.
I know, but you're talking over each other. If that did happen, would you? You want some more of this tobacco, Alex Jones?
Dude,
sure.
If that happened, this isn't the first time I'm saying this. I've been saying if that happened.
But if that happened, you let it go.
Yeah, there's no footage of the construction of the International Space Station. There's no footage. It just appeared.
Because there's not a spacecraft.
There's no footage of the construction of the International Space Station.
Are you sure about that?
100%. There's no footage of the construction. They would have filmed that shit.
I've known people that worked on the space station. I've known astronauts. They're real people, man. They were there.
No, they are real people. I didn't say they weren't real people.
So you don't think it's really constructed, or you would like to see the footage first?
Well, listen. If there's a debate. Let me finish too. There's a debate out there whether you believe we went to the moon or not. Everyone needs to acknowledge it. There's a debate. There's people that
believe the laser.
Hold on. There's people that believe we went to the moon, and there's people who believe that we faked it. You have to understand both reasons.
People have a right to say it.
Exactly.
Yes.
So when you talk about the people that don't believe we went to the moon, when they also say they're faking other space shit too, you have to kind of understand where they're coming from. That's 6 moon missions that they believe, whether we went or not. Maybe we went, maybe we didn't. I don't know. But there's people that don't believe it. So when you should understand it, they have no trust for any of that other shit. I love you. How many times you got to fake going to the moon before you go, okay, before that bullshit meter just fucking explodes?
No, I agree. Listen,
it explodes.
I really got mad about Sandy Hook, which I think happened. I have a right to question about one. I was watching Minions 3 or 4 where they go to U.S. and they run through the Minions, run through Hollywood and they're staging the moon landing. People have a right to do that. The truth is nobody wants to send people up because a bunch of them die. A bunch of test pilots die. We fly on jumbo jets around the country. Our cell phones work.
Do you think we definitely went to the moon?
Absolutely.
100%?
Absolutely.
Bet your life on it?
Bet my life on it. But the difference is that I say it didn't happen. The truth
says that?
We have, type in Alex Jones denies moon landing.
I've denied it a bunch of times.
They say Alex Jones says that there are human slaves on Mars. Never said it. But all I'm saying is I know the real NASA people. And
Wernher von Braun, the guy who directed all 6 moon missions, was a Nazi, correct?
Yes.
He hung out with Walt Disney, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, who in the 50s just made up space. No one went to space.
How is space?
What?
Hey, listen, I'm not
Walt Disney had space.
Eddie, I was on the phone with you for 45 minutes this morning. I told you I have a 12-inch telescope, 12-inch diameter opening aperture.
Yes, we talked about this.
I looked at the freaking moons and taken 35mm photos.
It's there. It's there. All the shit you see when you look up, it's there. You get a telescope, you get closer to
we're
what's
not
there.
We're not gonna have a space is fake conversation.
You told me the fucking lights are fake.
I can't do this.
I didn't say the lights are fake.
Well, what are they?
I don't know.
Well,
I don't know what they are.
The way I describe this is the same way I talk about jiu-jitsu. you should never talk about how effective martial arts
You
are
could
to someone who
prove
hasn't trained
jujitsu.
at
You
all.
can't prove that shit.
You can prove all those things.
You can't prove
I
that the
think
sun's
it's like- I think
93
it's
million
fair
miles
to
away.
question
There's no
everything.
proof
You
of
don't
that.
think
Like,
that
are
there's
we
some-
even
there's
conscious?
knowledge?
It's scientism.
Eddie,
You got to believe it.
Eddie,
You have
are
to
we
believe
even
it.
real people that have souls and free will? Because you can say, maybe we don't even exist. You don't exist. Joe doesn't exist. And nobody exists.
So because
Eddie, we can't have a space is fake
Okay.
talk.
Yeah.
My fucking head will break.
Yeah.
No, I agree. Let's not do it.
No,
Yeah.
but the only my point of all that was I don't want to have a space discussion either. But my point is that if there's people out there that believe we faked going to the moon 6 times, you have to understand their skepticism. That's
Yes.
it.
No,
you
I
have to
totally
kind of
agree.
like
Well, this is hold on.
You know what I
Eddie,
mean?
This is
You have
what
to
we
understand
actually
that.
talked about
Yeah.
before when
You
he
have
was
to
talking
understand
about
that. That's all.
This is what we talked about before when he was talking about the reason why he questions anything. It's because he's seen so many different things that
Yes,
turned out to be
exactly.
bullshit.
So
That's
you
exactly
have
what
to
Alex was
understand
saying
it.
earlier. And
Yeah.
he was actually saying that sometimes you can get fucking crazy with it. And you think
Yeah.
that everything's fake, and you call bullshit on things that really aren't.
But
bullshit.
human
Maybe.
exploration is
Maybe.
real.
Yes.
Well,
Some
is
of
that-
it's, we can do some stuff.
like what?
What we've done, man.
What? Like what? Like fight wars and shit? Like what?
Like electricity?
That's awesome. Tesla, right?
Yeah.
Right. Where's Tesla at now?
I'm
No,
not
it's just how about all the technology that you enjoy to make your life run
Totally, I
correctly?
love it.
This
I
is
love
all
that.
from science.
That's of course,
Right.
Of course, I'm not talking.
It's the same science that allows people to understand the
it's
distance
science.
between Earth
Totally.
and Mars.
That's but
The
that,
same
that kind of
science
stuff. Then you get into
that sends
yes, it's still
rovers.
science. But
By the way,
if
I'm
you
not
have
trying to make
believe
points
it-
because, Eddie, you've taught me a lot and you're a really smart guy, an entrepreneur and a badass. So I think it's healthy to be where you're at, questioning everything versus buying everything. All I'm telling you is the stuff we have now 100 years ago would be considered magic. And we humans can go way beyond
I
that.
agree with that. Fucking iPhones, are you
Dude,
kidding
I
me?
know people that I was there when they
iPhones
were
are the
dying at
best.
the hospital. And
That
I'm
has
like,
nothing to do
they were
with
like top
space,
NASA
though.
scientists on the main line in the videos running NASA. And I'm like, were we there? Yes, I ran the RCA cameras. We faked the photos because the radiation belts hit it. They dolled them up, but we wouldn't have done that. I freaking know what happened.
That makes way more sense to me. And it's one of the things that Jamie and I have actually discussed when we talked about the Gemini 15 photo, the famous photo of Michael Collins that turns out to be just a reverse of a photo of him on a training mission where he's in a harness.
Yeah, they
and the
wanted
whole thing.
PR.
They
And the
used
thing is,
PR. That's what I said.
listen, I didn't
Overzealous
go to
PR
one.
agents.
I didn't go to 2. I went to 3.
what?
Deathbeds of NASA engineers. One of them was Raymond Teague. They allowed me to talk about this. Raymond was there running this freaking. He ran the lasers on the moon. He ran the deals. He said what was weird is they had another group of ships, and I'm not.
You know what would be
Raymond
the most
told me not to say
ironic
this.
thing?
I just shouldn't do it.
Another group of ships?
Well, they had another group of ships, but basically he wouldn't say it. And this is not drama. I was going to meet with him. I met with him at the former NORAD command base. That's the Hilton outside Austin. And he wouldn't tell me. And then like a week later, his heart blew. But he was ready to tell me. He said, no, it's real, but there's more advanced. And I mean, he had like presidential letters in his house. You look at him, he's like the main guy, like running the cameras, like number 3 in NASA, like for engineers. Freaking, he was in Vietnam, ran Black Ops in Cambodia. And he said, well, we lost a lot of people, but those were clandestine operations. I wasn't part of them. It's all compartmentalized. But he said, you're right that there were a bunch of missions beforehand because the U.S. was willing to kill 50 people to do that.
Just to see if they can get someone there.
So no one else
what
will
would be
do
the
it 'cause
most
everybody-
tragic thing? The
Because
most
people think the
tragic
U.S.
thing?
is that great, Joe. No, we were willing to. We had men that were ready to die.
Oh, yeah.
Over and over again for the one time it worked, and that's what pisses me off.
Well, Gus Grisham and the original
blew up on the line.
yeah, they blew up on the launch pad. You know, what would be incredibly tragic is if they actually did go to the moon, but they faked the footage because of the radiation. So they released this bullshit
Yes,
footage
it was
and
filmed.
nobody
You
ever
can't
believed.
get film.
But do you know how horrific that would be if you were a guy like Neil Armstrong and you knew that the footage was bullshit, but you actually had gone to the moon, and you're like, fuck. And this whole thing was like people were starting to go, why does it look like they're on wires? Why does it look like they're on trampolines? Like,
yeah, by the way, they all got irradiated because it's true. Like he says, going through that's like 1,000 chest X-rays or something. You know, even flying at noon, you know, is like 10 chest X-rays, right?
Yeah,
you know,
flying is terrible for you.
Notice all the.
I thought it was only one.
Notice how it's more. Notice how the international flights are all now at night.
Why is that?
Because there's freaking no radiation, dude.
Because you go to sleep, it's a red eye.
No.
Solar radiation.